Hey everybody, welcome to RPM, Rock and Pop Mandolin, your destination for learning classic rock and pop songs on this wonderful little 8-string instrument. My name is Mike DeJong, and today we're going back to that early 1970s album by Rod Stewart called Every Picture Tells a Story for yet another great mandolin track, and another great mandolin track played by Ray Jackson, who didn't really get any songwriting credits on that album, but that's another story for another video. Anyway, this song is called Mandolin Wind, and many of you have been requesting this one. Well, I finally got around to learning it, and now I can show it to you. I'll show you the chords, which are pretty basic, and then the cute little mandolin solo, which is actually really wonderful, very melodic. Ray Jackson had a knack for playing solos, and I will show you that one note for note here in this tutorial. But first, if you're new here, thanks very much for checking us out. We really appreciate your support. But don't forget to hit that little red subscriber button on the way out. If you are a returning subscriber, thanks once again, of course, for coming back and checking us out again. And don't forget to leave us a like and check out our Patreon and Amazon links down below. Lots of exciting things happening over on Patreon, including live mandolin sessions every month. But now, without further waiting, without further ado, let's take a look at Mandolin Wind for Mandolin on RPM. All right, Mandolin Wind starts off with a simple little chord progression here that goes from a B chord to an A chord, and then finally A back to B. So the beginning of the song goes like this. So that's very basic. That's just two chords, a B to an A, as I said. And I'm using this voicing here for the B chord. You could play this B chord voicing if you want as well, but I think this one sounds more authentic. It's the 4th fret of the G, the 4th fret of the D, and the 2nd fret of the A string. All right, so you're just there on the D, or sorry, on the B, and you could use that high E string if you want, like that, but I prefer just to play these 3 strings here. Top 3 strings, okay? And then you're moving down to 2 frets down to that open A chord. 2nd fret here, 2nd fret there on the D and G strings, and then your open A and E, like that, okay? And the strumming pattern is just a basic... Right, so what did I do there? Well, I'm doing a couple of downstrokes first. 1, 2, 3, and then up and down, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'll do it again. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, up, down, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so you stay on that A chord for an extra 4 beats, right? So 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Actually, an extra 8 beats, all right? So B to A, stay on the A, and come back to B, and then you pause. Okay, next, after that intro, then it goes to the main verse sections, which are just an A chord mainly and an E chord mainly, all right? That's most of the verses. I'll show you the rest of the verses in a minute, but it's pretty easy. It's just an A chord to an E chord. That's the basic. Those are the basic chords. But what I do is I spice it up a little bit by going... And that kind of mimics the vocal line that Rod Stewart is playing, the vocal melody. So what is that? Well, first, it's that A chord here, and this time I'm not playing the open A. I'm actually now using my 3rd finger here on the 4th fret of the A string. So 2nd, 2nd, and 4, there. So that's your A string there, and I'm trying not to hit that open E. I'm certainly not playing the full A chord this time. I'm letting that E ring out, because then I can do this. You see that? Okay, so I'm sort of going from the low here, I'm barring those 2 strings, and then I'm hitting that string and the open E, and I'm arpeggiating, meaning I'm picking the individual notes here. So I'm going... All right, so I'm going from that note there, the low A, that's actually barred, so you can hit those two together. All right, and then I'm jumping all the way up to that little melody note there, which is the 4th fret of your A string. It's a C sharp note, and then your open E, like that. So, right, like that. You see how that works? And it works really nicely with the vocal melody. Okay, so that's the A chord riff, and then the A chord part of the verse. Then I go down to the E. Your basic E chord, 1st fret here of the G string, 2nd fret and 2nd fret, like that. And again, I'm arpeggiating it, meaning I'm picking the notes individually. Like that, 1, 2, 3. All with downstrokes here too, by the way. So, and then you can just strum it a bit with an up and down stroke after that, or up and down strokes after that. So, one more time, A. See how I did that? So I'm catching that sort of A with that E string open, then I'm strumming it a little bit, and then I'm going to the E, arpeggiating it, and then strumming it a little bit. Okay, so those are the main chords through the first part of the verses. At the end of each verse, though, he goes back to that B to A again, okay? So after you do a few times like that, then they go to the B. Okay, so again, I'm hitting that B chord, which is the 4th fret here of the G string, 4th fret of the D, and 2nd fret of the A. And again, this time, unlike strumming it at the beginning of the song, this time I'm kind of arpeggiating it as well, just like I arpeggiated the previous chords. All right, so when you go to this part, and then this time I'm changing the A chord a little bit. I'm not doing this one again. I'm going back to that original A chord that I used at the beginning, which has that open A string there, so I can arpeggiate it like that. Okay, so it's... And on this part of the verse, he goes from the B part, then to the A chord, and then they stay on the A chord and kind of pause or slow down and then go to the E. And that ends off the verse choruses. I guess they're both in the same sort of thing, right? It's kind of combined. Okay, let's play through the verses and into the choruses one more time. I guess they're kind of combined. There's really no separate verse chorus sections in this song. They all work together. So here's how it goes. From that A one more time, to the E, back to the A, E. Let's do the B part. Okay, those are basically all of the chords for the song. It's fairly simple, only really 2 parts with, I guess, 3 or 4 chords. But now we get to the mandolin solo, played by Ray Jackson, I believe, once again. I think it was Ray Jackson, although there has been some dispute over that, whether or not somebody else played the solo. But to me, it really sounds like Ray Jackson because he uses a lot of tremolo. And, of course, he used a lot of tremolo on Maggie May, that other great song from this same Rod Stewart album, Every Picture Tells a Story. And Ray Jackson's sort of signature is that tremolo picking that he does with his right hand. So I really think that this solo sounds like his playing. Okay, so what is the solo? Well... Okay, that's the first part of the solo, all right? I'll show you that first, and then I'll show you... the second part of the solo. So the first part of the solo is played over the A chord to the E chord, right? So it's... I'm not doing the tremolo part here. I'm just showing you the main notes now. So what are the notes? Well, you start off with this note here, 4th fret of the A string, right? Then up to the 7th fret there, so... Okay, so 4th fret, 7th fret, open, 7, 4, 2, open, 6. Okay, so okay, and he puts in a little tremolo on that note there, and probably on this note here. So it's like something like that. So you want to hit the tremolo on that high E note there, the 7th fret. You want to hit it here and here. So like that, okay? And then you do that same pattern again a little bit. Okay, so instead of going down now, you're going up. So 4 to 7 again, and then up to the next string. Yeah, and you can do that Ray Jackson style tremolo there if you want. So what are we doing? Well, 4, 7, and then up to here on the E string. So it's 2nd, open, 2nd, 4, 2nd, open. Okay, so and they repeat it again, the same part right after that. So let's see what we have so far with the solo. We've got and again. And now you go to this part. After you do that part twice, then you go, which is 2nd on the A, 2nd fret, and then open A, and then that 6th fret there again. And he does a really kind of cool little lick there from the A on the open A there to the 6th fret, which is an A flat, then back to the A, and then up to the B, the 2nd fret. So one more time through the solo, you can do this. And now here. All right, that's the first part of the solo. So the chords now switch to that B to A part. Okay, B chord to A chord, B chord to A chord. So you want to do this little riff over top of that. All right, so this first riff is a really cool little descending pattern on the B chord, starting here at the 2nd fret of the E string, which is an F sharp note, actually. So F sharp, open, and then open, E, and then 6, 4, 2. So 2, open, 6, 4, 2. Just like that. Just a little descending scale pattern. All right? Make sure you hit that 6th fret, though. That's part of this B major chord, okay? You want to get that. I made the mistake when I was first learning this song of going, hitting this note here. That's actually in a B minor chord. That's not the right note. That C note there, right? Or that D note there. You want to get the D sharp, okay? That's the correct note in this descending pattern. So it goes, then you, over the A chord, now you want to hit that 5th fret, okay? So the A pattern goes from open E, 5, 4, 2, open. All right, so you're changing those two notes depending on what chord you're playing here. So the B chord, A chord, and then that little open 6, open 2 again. All right, so one more time, the B pattern goes. You can put that tremolo in there again. Then, like that, to end off the solo. All right, that is Rod Stewart's great song, Mandolin Wind, from Every Picture Tells a Story in 1971. Really great song, and a wonderful mandolin part played by Ray Jackson. I know you'll enjoy playing that little solo. It's one of my favorite mandolin solos in a pop or rock song. Thanks again for tuning into this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave us a like if you did like it. And if you're new here, please hit that little subscriber button on your way out. Thanks very much for tuning in to RPM.